Basically the idea that what's the point of working so hard, putting in too much effort. Saya Melayu. And that is something that I would want to change. My name is Dr. Mohd Shamsuri Juhari. Ini Kasih Kita. I'm a research fellow with the Institute of Policy Studies, which is part of the Lee Kuan Yew School of Public Policy, which is part of NUS. My focus has always been young people, although I do research in the other aspects of Malay society. So when young people gets an awareness that my community isn't doing so well, and with that comes the trigger for them to want to do something for the community. And so that's where the inspiration comes to want to volunteer, to want to, simple as initiating tuition classes for the younger people who need it. In my generation, perhaps we shared the same kind of socioeconomic background. Many of us were not really inspired to do well in school. The value of education during my time wasn't as strong as it is today. I had an uncle who married into the family, and he was the first graduate in the family. So I guess he was the one that was my role model. He's got a picture of him in his graduation robe with his mortarboard. To a young child, that's something special. That went into me, wanting me to basically imagine the day where I'll be wearing that. We lack that core of achievers that would inspire the rest of us in those days. I'm happy to say that it's changing. We've got more and more achieving individuals to inspire the rest, but in the early days that was sorely lacking. The other concept I would push for is changing or improving the Malay narrative. Basically the idea that what's the point of working so hard, putting in too much effort. Saya Melayu. This comes sometimes from that lack of exposure, the kind of achievement that the community has really got for themselves. And that is something that I would want to change. I don't blame individuals who are not able to pursue high levels of study because they don't have money. Even if there are difficulties, especially for those who want to study further and there's obstacles because of money, well, it might take them longer. So as a community, it also becomes our responsibility to push, to give them the boost that they need, be it in terms of morale, be it in terms of support. So we need that, especially for a community. When I was studying, I had two sources of financial assistance. LBKM is one. It helped us with our studies. So it probably was used for books, for photocopying. That's what you need a lot in NUS. Yeah, those kind of things. But in any case, it lessened the financial burden on the family. I want to thank LBKM for the support. I knew there's that gap, me receiving support in my early years of education and me offering my services now. The first instance when I was asked to help out by LBKM, and that was to be part of their panel that interviews scholarship applicants. Every time when we interview students, the phrase of how can I help comes out from them, and that was actually inspiring for somebody like me. Longevity, business-minded, community, maju. Longevity in terms of the motivation, be business-minded. Because sometimes we do things with a lack of clarity. Okay, if I were to go back to a Malay word, an anglicized Malay word, community. So community, because that's what we're here for, and that's what I think I'm here for. It is not just for myself, it is for the larger community. And in my case, because of my research, it would be for the Malay community. M, maju, because that's what we are aiming for the community, for any individuals from the community, and even for the external community. Okay, we want to progress, and again that would be my wish for the Malay community, supaya kita maju.